Hey, this is Matt once again. What about 10 other videos? Another paid request. This time for Lucas. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film Scooby-Doo and the Boo Brothers. Which sadly, this really has no features on it. A lot of this stuff. When Ghost Go Boo calls Scooby-Doo music video, it just really nothing. It's too bad that you don't really get actual features for stuff like this. Like, it would have been nice to hear. Like, it would have been nice to have an actual documentary when some of these people were alive. Don Messick, who voiced Scooby, Casey who voiced Shaggy, about how was it doing the show, the multitude of shows, the popularity of it. But that just never came about. Now, these were shown on TV, I think syndication. There was this one, there was Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, there was Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, as you would call sort of the Red Shirt Shaggy trilogy. Which is fun because this cover, you see he's in the green shirt, but he's actually in the red shirt here. Now, apparently, looking online, a lot of people shit on this movie. And I'm trying to find reviews on YouTube, and a lot of them aren't positive. I really do not understand why. This is easily my favorite Scooby-Doo film. You could call it nostalgia, sure. But I think this is a very fast-paced movie. I think it's still rather funny. I think the voices still work. Casey Kasem as Shaggy. Don Messick is Scooby-Doo. When he passed away, I want to say around 1997. People try to voice Scooby-Doo, is just not the same. The tone of voice and the Scooby when Don voiced him had a bit of a deeper voice for Scooby, which I thought worked well for the character. And this one, you do like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are the stars of it. They have a lot to do and a lot of times if you watch some of these shows nowadays, Scooby-Doo is kind of in the background or maybe does one or two things and it's the other human characters that are doing more. But because this is just the three of them, these two and Scrappy, which is not on the front, but you can barely see him in the back there. And Scrappy-Doo, I never hated him like other people did. I can understand the annoyance people had with him. But back to the day I remember not minding him. I actually wish, like the Scooby and Scrappy show, I wish they would get like full DVD releases. Or even Blu-ray releases. Like the full show. I mean, there were multiple, like put them all together in their collection, but that's never going to happen. And now he's pretty much been banned. Like, you never hear about the character. They never reintroduce the character. I mean, the last time you hear about him is, what, Scooby-Doo, the 2002 movie, which I thought was a fun idea. I remember watching that movie in the theaters, being a fan of Scooby-Doo, and when that reveal happened, I laughed. I'm like, that's ingenious, making Scrappy-Doo the villain. That just, for that film, it felt kind of ingenious. Even though I didn't despise the character that other people did. But I think nowadays people would not be as harsh on him, or like, whatever. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. I think it would be interesting to see him reintroduced in some way, some shape or form. I don't know, if you think he's annoying, then what made him annoying in your opinion, and fix it. Rework it. Rework the idea. But as for this came out around 1987, and now it would be nice to know the details of what came about of making this movie, because it was typically, TV shows they would do that would last maybe 2 seasons or 3 seasons, and you had like Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo show, the Scooby and Scrappy show, the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. good chunk of years where Daphne, Velma, and Fred were not on it, and then maybe Velma would join them. I mean, Daphne. Maybe Daphne would join them, but Velma and Fred were gone for a while from a Scooby-Doo family, so to speak. Which, I mean, I like those terriers, but I can't say I really missed them a whole lot either. And the reason it's my favorite is when this movie goes, it just never stops. There's always something happening. There's no lull. They're always, when this starts going, they're always running, being chased. There's ghosts. As Shaggy says himself, ghosts, guns, a goony girl. It's like, people complain there's too much in it, but to me, I appreciate there being too much in it because there's never a dull moment to me. The gist is simple. And I love the opening with the ghost, this witch talking about the Boo Brothers and how that's the one group she's scared of. And you have this opening where Scooby, Shaggy, they are steered out of the house and they're on the way to the Beauregard plantation, a southern plantation that Shaggy has inherited because his uncle passed away. I'm not going to go into a whole. It's a southern plantation. People know what happened on southern plantations back in the day. I'm not going to get into all that. Slavery and all that. I'm not going to get into all that. To me, could deal with it because I think their intention was there's a lot of spooky places in the South, haunted plantations. Let's go with that location. Okay, fine, it's the guy. It was Shaggy's uncle. Doesn't mean Shaggy and others are the same way. Plus, you go to that place, it's like, hey, maybe we could sell it. Maybe we could make a shitload of money. Who knows? It's a rainy night. The van gets stuck. And throughout, just all these things keep happening. They get to the plantation, and they're stuck there. The van sinks in, or it doesn't work. They don't know what to do. There's talk of these hidden jewels and a hidden treasure. There's all these clues they're trying to follow. And mainly Scrappy-Doo is the one solving. And all these terrors they have to deal with. They have to deal with this cop, this sheriff, which I like this guy. Just to forget the actor's name, but he was Boss Hogg on the Dukes of Hazzard. And the way he plays the sheriff is like if he was Buford T. Justice from Smoking the Bandit. So I had a lot of fun with his character. You have all these ghosts or supposed ghosts. You have the Headless Horseman. You have this Colonel ghost. You have the skeleton figure. In the house, you have this manservant who seems like an Igor type. You have this escaped circus ape. And you have this hillbilly girl named Sadie and her hillbilly brother who likes to shoot first, shoot second, shoot third. And Sadie wants Shaggy just out of the blue. And she's trying to get away from her. And then the hillbilly's like, you trying to get my sister? It is all this stuff. And then on top of that, they have to find ghost exterminators. And they call in the book. And these three pop up. Which are pretty much Three Stooges. Which is funny because the Three Stooges did appear on the new Scooby-Doo movies. When it's like them and either a celebrity or a famous character pops in to join a mystery. But I do like these characters. In particular, this one. The one with the green hat. Street Show, I believe. Because I'm bad with names. Because that is voiced by Rob Paulsen. Who is the voice of Raphael in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon. And then he would voice Donatello in the 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon. And I never put that together when I was a kid. But I would be like, that voice sounds familiar. And then later I'm like, oh shit, that's right, it's the same actor. And he voiced a lot of characters as well. And again, it's like everywhere they turn is this never ending struggle with either the van gets stuck and Scooby's trying to push it, and there's this circus ape, and Scooby looks up, and you see the ape looking down, you see the lightning, as Scooby's thinking, fuck this, pushes Shaggy and starts driving the van. And she's like, what are you doing, Scoob? I like some of the lines of dialogue. You're a wimp. And Scooby goes, yeah, but I'm a live wimp. I liked the sheriff. Again, I didn't know it was voiced by the guy who played Boss Hogg in Dukes of Hazzard, but now I hear it there. It's almost as if Boss Hogg said, I forget the actor's name, but he's like, let me do my version of Roscoe P. Coltrane from the Dukes of Hazzard. But also a bit of, Buford T. Justice. And I like a lot of his bits. You're raised them arms, or I'm going to use a magnum force. Or he pulls a gun, and it's a stuffed. It's not the steep circus ape. It's a stuffed one. It's a fake one. But he doesn't know that yet. He has the gun on him. He's like, raise them arms. And the butler's like, he's stuffed. And so the sheriff goes, I don't care how much he eats. Just how serious he said that line. No, but sheriff, he's stuffed. I don't care how much he eats. I want him out here in 1, 2. It's like, no. They do a lot better job than I'm making it out to be. Or there's a bit where he's trying to get his gun out, and it's like, you're messing with the law. 1, 2. As he goes to 3, a fucking tree falls on him. And he's stuck, and he shoots the gun in the air. Just the time he's like, a 1, a 2, a... Just something about that made me laugh. Same with like Sadie, the hillbilly girl who just instantly falls in love with Shaggy, and she wanted to come by to borrow some. I forget what she wanted to borrow. She thought there was a party going on. Dragged Shaggy. Shaggy's like, what? And she just lifts the guy and starts twirling Shaggy around. And the way Shaggy's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And just the fact, like, Shaggy's so scared. He's being twirled around by this girl. And how pissed she gets with her brother, who just starts shooting. As she'll, like, take the gun and tie him up in it. Oh, you take to the muscle courses. I don't know what a muscle course is, but maybe it's the hillbilly version of gymnastics or yoga or Richard Simmons. I don't know. Aerobics. It's the hillbilly version of aerobics, the muscle course. And I like the just danger at every turn. It was also cool, like they're searching for the jewels. Like each time they find a clue, they get another jewel or diamond or necklace, and there's another clue. And I mean, the clues are simple enough, but at the same time, like one clue is the part of the house with its knee out. And of course, it's a chimney. But I don't know. As a kid, I kind of liked, as a kid, trying to figure it out along. Granted, Scooby and Shaggy should have figured it out quicker, but you need something for Scrappy-Doo to do. And they're going all over the plantation. That's another thing. They utilize the whole location. They gotta go to the cemetery. They gotta go to the roof. They gotta go to the cellar. they make do with the whole location. Again, everywhere they turn, it's either the Boo Brothers, or it's the Goonie Girl, or it's the Hillbilly Jim, or it's the fucking sheriff, or it's the ape, or it's the other supposed ghosts. This skeleton ghost is messing with him on the roof, and Raw Paulson's ghost is trying to help him up. And Casey Kasem as Shaddy's like, "You sure you got us?" "Yeah, of course." "Okay." And then they both fall. They all fall to the ground. Or like the hillbilly shooting, he actually hits the ape. So the ape looks at him and grabs a gun and starts shooting at him. I also like the interactions that Scooby and Shaggy have in this. Like the Shaggy calls Scooby a scaredy cat. And Scooby's a scaredy cat. And then puts on something and steers Shaggy. "Ah, doggone it, Scoob, I oughta." I don't know, I kind of like their banter in this. It's not a ton of banter, but I like the way the characters were utilized in this. Compared to other uh, movies and shows. Or like Scooby, or like Shaddy's trying to tell him, "Scooby, you gotta watch what you're doing." As soon as he says that, he turns and smacks himself right in the face. And it's just the timing of it that I really enjoyed. "Scooby, will you watch what you're doing?" It's kind of like me growing up in the day of watching Three Stooges, Red Skelton, the stuff on VHS tape, Abbott Costello, enjoying that type of humor. And it's not the humor I was seeing showcased in this. So that's the kind of humor I grew up with. And I like the atmosphere of the plantation. It's raining out, and the the look of it. Now this is I don't know if this is on Blu-ray. Maybe it is. I just couldn't find it. There was on archive.org an HD reconstruction of this, which looked pretty good. At least that's what it said, and it looked pretty good. But yeah, I don't know if this. Maybe this is out on Blu-ray. If so, I have to pick it up. But they start getting more and more of the clues, and they start realizing more of what's going on. Oh, another one that made me laugh was there's a bit where Shaddy just following Scooby and Scrappy keeps talking to himself. "I keep feeling there's someone behind me." And it's the hillbilly with the gun, and then his sister Sadie grabs him, and then she's coming up to grab him. One's going to kill him, one's going to fuck him. And then like one takes and gives like a suplex, and then there's Billy, and then she gives like a turnaround and slams him down. Just the way they go back and forth as Shaddy's just talking. "I have to remind myself, no one's out to get me. Okay, no one's out to get me." As it's like it goes on for a little bit. It's funny at first, then it's not as funny, but it gets funnier because how long is going. Like that's one of those jokes that made me laugh, and that's the point. It's entertaining. Would I say it makes the most sense? Spoiler: by the end, you realize that the sheriff is doing this, and he wanted the jewels. And actually, he has a twin brother who's the real sheriff, except he has a mustache. He arrests him. Now, how the sheriff was able to pull all this stuff off with all these ghosts, don't know. But at the same time, you do get the hint that maybe the place really is haunted as well. Because as they leave, the Colonel ghost is still there. And they pass by it, and they drive off even faster. And of course, the Boo brothers are real, and they invite their family at one point. And they're real ghosts. So I guess that's the point: is that there are real. This place really is haunted. But nothing really goes further than that. Like this Colonel Ghost. Like what did he says leave this place, but what did he really want? What was his objective? Did he really want these jewels not to be found? You never find that out. You never get in more detail of that. Because that's not the purpose of it. But some people, hey, maybe they'll be annoyed by that. Some people may be annoyed by the Boo brothers. I was not. I thought they were fun. But again, I like the Three Stooges, so I like that type of humor. Plus, again, Rob Paulsen voicing one of the characters is a treat, being a Ninja Turtles fan. And I just had so much fun watching this again. It's been a while. The music, I think, works well and fits the animation for its time. Fits. Like I said, I don't understand the hate that this film gets. If that's the case, then I would say this film is underrated. It's a fun cartoon. Not meant to be taken seriously or... But do people take Scooby-Doo stuff and try to look at the plot details to see if it dots the I's and cross the T's? On a Scooby-Doo movie and cartoon? I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, some people were not entertained by it. At the time, they were not entertained by it. I'm quite the opposite. I love this movie. It's a personal favorite of mine. That's why I keep showing this. I don't know. I just force of habit. And it was, like I said, great to watch this again. I do like The Reluctant Werewolf, but I would say this is my favorite Scooby-Doo movie. Easily. Not big on the Ghoul School. That one never... I don't hate it. Like, I could watch it. Just never grabbed me like the other two did. And the other Scooby-Doos, they made like 50 of them. Like, direct-to-video. Like, even Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, which I know people love, and they say that's the best one. I like the animation, but I just don't love the movie. Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, I just don't love it. I think just because the voice acting, just, because you don't have Casey Kasem, and of course you don't have Matthew Lillard, who would come back. I'm not a fan of that voice of Shaggy. Again, I've said, after Don Mez had passed away, nobody could voice Scooby-Doo the same again. So anytime I hear Scooby-Doo, it just feels off. And, okay, you say that's unfair, but I'm just being honest. They just... sounds off. Obviously, because it's not the same actor, but just... that magic was never hit again, and that just hurts. At least hurts the viewing experience for me, because... that's not to say they should never make Scooby-Doo material, I understand. It's just my own personal thought on it. So, yeah, most people say Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, and a lot of them... I much prefer this one. That's just me. So, with that said, I watched this and a lot of the other direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films, Chill Out Scooby-Doo and Witch's Ghost and all that other jazz. I think they still make them like once or twice a year or something. I still haven't seen, what was it, Scoob? They were just called Scoob. I still haven't seen that one. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.